God has given every one of us talents. Do we use them correctly, or do we leave everything to everyone else? KBC Dramatics presents The Talents.
It came to pass that a master had 300 servants, and the master, who was about to embark on a long journey, called his servants together and entrusted talents to each of them. To some he gave 1 talent, to others 2, to others 3 or more. But each servant, short or tall, clever or dull, trained or untrained, received at least 1 talent.
Some received the talent of singing, some dancing, some painted pictures of waterfalls in the moonlight. Others were talented in public speaking, baking cakes, pushing disabled children to the playground swings, or visiting the sick. Others received talents enabling them to collect money, or vacuum the floor, or teach.
After the master finished handing out talents, he addressed his servants.
Well, I am going on a long journey. Now, as my servants, work wisely with the talents I have given you.
With that, he left.
Then a fellow who had the talent for organization spoke up.
Very well. Let's band together in our master's service, using these talents to do the master's work that he has left us.
He pointed at a servant who had the talent of speaking the master's words.
You will remind us of what the master has said. Those of you who have musical talents will sing to us of the master and his work.
And so it went. And before long, each servant was given something to do according to his talent. Some cared for the servants who were old or sick. Some brought water to those who toiled in the master's orchards. Some invited strangers into their homes and made them feel welcome. And some taught others about the master and his goodness. A servant who was talented in mending shoes became frustrated and decided that his task wasn't important enough.
I want to do something important, like singing or speaking the master's words in the meeting house. Well, mending shoes is it's for nobodies.
But mending shoes is important. Wouldn't it be harder to do the master's work barefoot?
That is not my problem. I want a more important job and place. Those singers and speakers we've got now aren't so talented anyway.
The servant whose talent was mending shoes promptly stopped exercising his talent. It wasn't long before the other servants' shoes began to have holes and they let in water. They became very discontented too.
I am tired of working with wet feet. I know. Let's hire a shoemaker, even if he isn't from our community.
I want a more important job too. Placing and organizing long distance phone calls to the master, well, it isn't very exciting.
Soon, a group of servants who could use hammers and saws built a meeting house for the benefit of all, and those who were talented in making furniture and sewing curtains furnished it. People came from miles around to the meeting house to hear of the master and to honor him.
For a while, the servants' works flourished. But then came that day when change occurred.
Yeah, I'm tired of inviting strangers into my home. Let somebody else do it. I've done it for years. I need a break.
Soon, the length and breadth of the master's property was in an uproar. Some servants refused to exercise their talents, while others demanded a more exciting place. Some accused others of laziness and being puffed up. Some felt that their work required too much work. Still others said that certain talents should not be exercised, that perhaps the master had not meant to give them at all.
When the master's business had finally grounded to a halt, the servant who had the talent for organization called an emergency gathering in the meeting house.
All right, all right. The master's plan for us to carry out his work according to the talents he gave us is, well, is obviously not going to work. No. Therefore, we will make a few changes. Number one, we will pay the speaker of the master's words more. But then again, he will also visit the sick, teach outsiders about the master, sing, talk to strangers, and perform organizational duties. But there is more important tasks that will be to convince the rest of us to work too. Number two, should a servant decide to work, his job will be determined by, well, by what he feels like doing and how convincing the speaker of the master's words has been. Servants are welcome to keep their talents, but, well, they need not feel obliged to exercise them.
The servant, whose talent was organization, left the platform surrounded by the cheers of the congregated servants. The few speakers of the master's words reluctantly took their new responsibilities, and the rest of the people went home and relaxed in their comfortable couches in front of their warm fires and television sets, munching their biscuits and feeling extremely content.
It was then the master came back.